Howdy, 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 everybody. It's the beginning of week 5, y'all. The time is going by really, really fast. And, when I'm editing the videos, I feel like I'm doing a lot of repetition when I'm showing y'all stuff. However, also, I can see that things are moving kind of quickly. If I look at the vlog at the beginning of the week and then at the end, there's a lot of growth going on. So that makes me happy. But this morning is very good weather. We're like in the low 70s. Yay for that. It's not going to rain today. And I've already been out and I planted some more carrots. Okay, I had 2 containers that didn't have carrots in it because I wanted to put some Danvers half longs in there and I didn't have any carrots. I still had some purple dragon carrots. And I was thinking, duh, dummy. Just put the Danvers and, the purples in there. So that's what I did. So now all the containers have carrots. And Bobby asked me, what are you gonna do when all those carrots come in at one time? Basically, I told him I'm gonna pull them all and replant. And I'm going to try to can some, and then also I'm going to put some in the freezer. If I get enough carrots, I probably won't grow carrots next year. So we'll see how that goes, because carrots are kind of fun to grow. Or maybe I just won't grow as many, so I can have some fresh carrots as well. My observations for this morning. I sprayed this plant again with some baking soda, and you can really see here. See where the black spots are at? And look at that beautiful tomato popping out. But like I said, I don't know how long this plant is gonna make it, because I'm gonna have to keep taking leaves off. So we'll see. I'm trying to help it to recover, but I don't know if it can. And of course, this one, the tomato is looking very beautiful. And also that one. Still no new buds on here, but I'm thinking it's time for me to start fertilizing the garden. I think it's time for some nitrogen out here. So sometime in the next few days, I'm gonna have to get my 511 out, and I have some everything but the kitchen sink juice, which I'll talk about later. And we're gonna put that on the plants as well, because they're a little bit yellow, probably because of the rain washing through the containers, and give everybody a little bit of a boost. I always look at the radish babies because I feel like they give me instant gratification. Radishes are coming up. Look, y'all, Peeping Tom is at it again. Look at those cosmos, very beautiful. Y'all, look at my tomatillo plants. I'm not sure if anything is actually growing on them just yet as far as the tomatillas, because I really haven't seen the bee activity out just yet. Probably when it gets warmer and I have more flowers, I'll see more bees out here. However, y'all, my peas are starting to flower, so you know what that means. Yay! I thought they would be taller, but they're not. All of the plant babies are doing what they're supposed to be doing. My lantanas are starting to open up. So today I'm going to do some planting. In a little while, I have to go to my mom's house and do some work there, and then when I get back, I'll do some more planting. I've already planted the purple dragon carrots. I just need to put these markers down. And I'm gonna plant some sugar babies, some Kajari melons, and okra. These are the okra seeds that I pulled off of my plant. And then I'm gonna do some new burgundy okra just to make sure I get some burgundy okra. I'm gonna plant some zinnias and some sunflowers. So this should be a whole tray of plants. So we'll see how that goes. I must admit, it has been some hours since my last take. I had to go do some things, and so I wasn't able to come back out. I did plant the seeds that I had laid out on the table. And then after that, I didn't do anything else out in the garden. But today, I did do a few things. First of all, I unwrapped my carrot babies, and y'all look. They say it takes a long time for carrots to germinate. I found they don't take a long time to germinate for me. So those are all carrots. Got some more in this bag as well. So I'm just gonna cover these back up. I made sure I made them soggy. And then I'm gonna cover them up. I pulled a few leaves off of these that had a whole lot of leaf miner damage, and I'll probably pull some more. I also ended up pulling some leaves off of here, because look, right there. That there is leaf miner damage, so I just need to pull that off. And I'm not sure about this tomato plant, if the damage has stopped spreading or not. I feel like it's spreading a little bit slower. I did spray this plant with some baking soda and water, so I hope that helps. And for some reason, my New Zealand spinach that I transferred, it's not happy. But it actually looks like it has some new growth, so we're just gonna hang on to that. I also ended up putting a piece of rebarb here where my solar panel is at, because this was a little bit shaky, so I wanted to make sure it's not gonna fall down. I also noticed this variegation on my leaves, and y'all, I think I got some spider mites going. I have a case of spider mites, and last year I had a bad case of spider mites. I didn't know what they were until they were all over the garden. And I have to look and see if they'll really hurt your plant. I'm not sure. I sprayed everything with neem oil, so I hope that helps. I believe the neem oil will help with the spider mites, but I don't know. I just put my plant babies to bed, so good night, little plant babies. Good night. I also got over my fear of pruning my rose plant, and I went ahead and I pruned it all the way down. So hopefully it's gonna come back. I think that it will. The leaves that are on there, I didn't have the heart to cut it all the way down, so we'll see what happens. Also, I took the head off of the sunflower, and you can see those little dots? I believe those were spider mites, so I sprayed this plant also because we got some more sunflower heads coming on this plant. This is my lemon plant. I think that's premature ejaculation here. Because there's no way that should be turning yellow. So I got like a miniature, y'all see that bee? There used to be a time I would be scared of bees, but I'm not scared of them anymore. It's like you just have to have a respect for them, and I love to see them on my plants. Here's some of my plant babies, and you see, these got hit by the spider mites as well, these tomatoes. So I treated them with neem oil, so I hope my little tenderonis are not gonna die, but I just went ahead and sprayed them anyway because I don't want them to be, going to ground with a disease already. And I also split some New Zealand spinach and also some of the Parisian basil. Last year, I just planted my basil like really crazy. I overseeded everything. All the basil was overcrowded. Half of it died off, and then the other half went to seed, and then I just had basil everywhere. Now I just have basil popping up willy-nilly. And I don't know which basil is which, but this year I took the time. I didn't overseed. I am splitting things up so it has lots of room, and I'm going to leave things in the solo cups for as long as I can, or as long as I can stand it. Also, how about them colored solo cups, y'all? I found some different colors as well. Of course, I love the red, but I love the green too. So pretty. Another thing that I worked on today was trying to figure out how I'm gonna do my watering for this year. Yeah, because watering, it ain't a game. Even though my garden is small, I found last year it took me, at the height of the garden season, it took me about 45 minutes to water my garden, which is ridiculous. That's a lot of time that I could be using for something else. I'm really trying to figure out how I'm gonna water the garden without wasting water. And I was a little disappointed because I'm trying to do it in baby steps because I'm trying to learn how to do it. It's to set up an irrigation system, and I didn't have everything that I needed. And I probably won't get a chance to go to the store for another few days. So, there it is. You do what you can, and then I'll try again. But today was a beautiful day. The weather was like just right. for, you know, gardening. I did have to leave and do some things, but when I came back, I came right out to the garden and got some stuff done. As a reminder, I need to go ahead and give my plant baby some everything but the kitchen sink juice because it's time, and I've been saying it for a few days and I just haven't been able to get to it. But again, we get to what we can. So good night, garden. Good night. I'm coming out and I don't really have that much energy. I just came, I had a doctor's appointment today, but everything's well. However, I'm just tired because it took me a long time, longer than I thought it was going to take, you know, for my ear. I got that all taken care of, and it's been a few days since I've been able to get out here because I just have a lot of stuff to do this week. Hasn't been a lot happening in the garden. I've been making sure everything has been watered, but that is about it. Right now, I am going to try to split some of the plants up, and I would like to fertilize some plants, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that either. We shall see. I got some more solo cups all prepared here. We're going orange with these. I feel like these are not as big as other colors, but yeah, they are. I've already put the holes in the bottom. You can see, actually I put the holes on the side instead of on the bottom this time. I have to try to remember to do that. I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna replant them. Hopefully it's not too late because they're overcrowded and they're not really growing that much. Cups are officially full of mustard greens, so we're gonna see how they grow. The mustard greens, even though they're really tiny, they have some really long fine roots on them, so they probably were just overcrowded. So that's a lesson learned for me. I was thinking because they were so small, the seeds were so small, that it was okay to kind of put a whole bunch in the cup, but now I know. Look, we got new blooms on the mandevilla. Those colors are stunning. I also replanted strawberries that I got from Lowe's, and this time I made really sure to make sure that the crowns are well above ground, because I believe part of the issue with the plants either dying or not coming up is that I had them planted too deep. Also, I gave all the plants some 511 today, to include these plants as well. And y'all, the leaf miners are going to town. I actually had to take some leaves off of a few of these, but I don't think it will hurt the plants. But yeah, the leaf miners are in town. Now look at my carrots. Ooh, they look lovely. They are coming up. I also planted my cucumbers. The tall cucumbers are the Armenian cucumbers, and the small ones are the munchers. Although the munchers were really tiny, I replanted them anyway because they didn't look good. Like, none of the munchers that came up for me looked good, and the only thing I did was plant them in some sifted soil. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. So I just planted them where they're going to live, and we'll see what happens. Got another rose baby coming up. I'm nice and hot and sweaty because it was a fairly warm day today, but not super hot in the shade. I got a lot done, so let's see. I amended the trunk where the cucumbers are at, and I put the cucumbers in. I also up-potted a lot of the mustard greens. I moved some stuff around for the plant babies. I planted new strawberry plants and took the old ones that died out and just admired my flowers. That's it. That's all I can stand to do today, and your girl is going in the house. Good morning, everybody. It's another day out in the garden, and I only had a few things that I'm going to be working on today because I don't have a lot of time today. But actually, I already started doing some stuff, and I'm almost finished. But I was talking on the phone with my mom, so I couldn't record. So I feel a little bit better than I did yesterday, y'all. Yesterday I was tired. Y'all got like a shingles vaccine and my arm is like sore, but other than that I am okay. My ear is feeling better, if anybody wants to know. And the plant babies are looking okay. However, when I came out this morning, I found quite a few things in disarray, but I've already fixed it. Like this little plant baby, he's already looking rough, and something had pulled it up. And I did find some of my plants were kind of turned over now. I don't know if it was a lizard or if it was a cat, but something has been in the garden. I also did some more squishing because the leaf miners are out of control already. Pulled off some of the yellowing leaves off of my radishes, and I did give the radishes some 511, so hopefully they'll green up some, but it may take a few days. Yeah, also I spotted this yesterday. Y'all see it? I have another bulb that's peeking up, finally, yay. And y'all, this mandevilla is getting ready to bloom like crazy. I'm so happy about that. Y'all, look at Charlie Brown, Homer Charlie Brown blueberry bush. It has a lot of leaves on it, so I'm glad I kept it. And I think it's almost time to pull some more jalapenos off. I planted all of these yesterday, and look, we got an MIA. And these I actually put in the greenhouse last night, and something trampled them. So some of them were turned on their side, and that one was missing. Everything else looked okay except for my plant babies are getting hit by the leaf miners too. Look at that. That makes me sad. And I definitely need to come out here and do a little choppings on my hydrangeas because there's new ones trying to pop out. The main thing I wanted to do this morning is work on the lemon plants, which I did. What I did was I sprayed a copper fungicide on here because you can see that? That's some kind of fungus, which I should have did already. And this lemon plant is already growing some new leaves. It has new buds, and it just needed like some work. There's also some leaf miner damage, so I still need to maybe pull a few leaves off of here. And then I also gave both of the lemon plants some citrus granular fertilizer. I also topped it with some mushroom compost, and then I put on some of the wood chips on top of it. So hopefully everything will start looking better soon. I'm also going to feed it some plant food when I give everybody else some plant food. So here's the other one, and it's getting a lot more leaves, so that's good. But now look at that. Fungus, fungus, fungus. So I sprayed those. Don't know what's going on with that guy right there. And also, I had these pots from last year here in my front garden. And this pot right here actually had catnip in it, but it has some colicis growing, which I wanted to plant, but it looks like they reseeded from last year. So yay for that. So I'm gonna be taking those out and putting them in their own pots because they get really big. I gotta say good morning to the lone geranium here. Good morning, geranium. Now I'm gonna get my pruners out and I'm gonna prune a few things, and then that'll be it for today. It's going to rain today. I don't think I need to water anything. I'm gonna cover my carrots back up. They have enough moisture, I believe, for the day. It's gonna be warm, but not super hot. I think it's gonna be cloudy. And then later on this afternoon and this evening, we're gonna have thunderstorms for a few days. So the plants will be happy about that, I hope. Okay, I did a spot of trimming on the hydrangeas. Not a lot, because y'all didn't have the heart to like just cut all the blooms off. But there's some more blooms that probably could go. I took a few of the raggedy ones in the house so I could look at them for a little bit longer. and they're definitely growing. You can see there's a bud growing there. We have lots of new growth in the armpits. I think I'll just need to just deadhead these eventually, and then they'll come back, so we'll see. Lantana is coming out to speak to us, you all. I also did some pruning. I pruned a few of the leaves off the lemons. It actually didn't look that bad, but there's still a lot of fungus on there. But I'm just gonna let that fungicide sit on there for a while. It's gonna rain tonight, so I'm gonna have to reapply tomorrow. And I also wanted to apply some more neem oil to certain spots in the garden as well, for the spider mites, and I might do that a little bit later. Good morning, good morning. Y'all, it is morning time, and this is gonna be a really short garden vlog for this week because I have barely been out in my garden, although lots of things are growing out here. And I just wanted to kind of take a note of what I observed this morning before I close the garden diaries out. So I've had like a lot of babysitting I had to do. I had you know, a lot of errands I had to run, and a lot of work that needed to be done, which I hardly got much work done. And I did a smidge of gardening this week, but I did do some, and some things are looking pretty good. So let's see what I observed this morning when I came out. First things first, I could tell it rained pretty good last night because there is lots of water in my hydrangeas, which is fine because hydrangeas love the water. We have more buds coming out on my knockout rose here. This knockout rose is doing really well. So I hope the other one bounces back because I sure did cut it back. So there's nothing going on over here yet. And I may trim it up a little bit better. And these heads are still closed on my sunflower. Looks like this knockout rose is about to bud as well. And this should be another red one. And this one is looking stunning as usual. I need to give them names. And y'all, this is what the lantana blooms are looking like so far. So every day I've been looking at these, and this whole bush is gonna have lots of lantana blooms on it. Y'all, I bought some more marigolds, and they needed water really bad. So the rain helped them to perk up some. I removed these from a good tomato plant, so guess what? That one is got some disease on it as well. So, I don't know. Me and tomatoes. It's still gonna rain, but I took some of my babies out so I could look at them. And they're all doing really good. I have them all tucked away in the greenhouse so the rain wouldn't beat them to, you know, all get out. And they're doing well. My peas took a hit last night. It stormed pretty good last night. Hopefully they'll bounce back, but we don't have any sun for a few days, so it's gonna be rough. I think it's about time to take some jalapenos off. Now this is my vining mandibella, and you can see these vines. I'm gonna have to train them a little bit so that they'll go around this pole. I could see that from my window. I was like, oh, look at them. They're looking pretty good. I think I had stuck this in here before and it came out. So we'll see how that does. And then this one, once it gets long enough, I'll have it going up this pole as well. So it's all the way up to here now. So that's good. And of course, they don't have any blooms on the trailing part just yet. So this is working out just the way I wanted it to. At first, I was thinking because I put it up under here, that was a bad idea. But then I was thinking, you know, plants find their way to the sun. So I think it's gonna be all right. My morning glory is on its way up this little makeshift trellis. Yay! And y'all look at all the other morning glory babies. They're doing really well. Also, what I noticed inside of my pea bed here, we have more morning glories. This was the original spot of the morning glories. However, I changed this dirt out, so I don't know where these morning glories came from. I don't know what this is or where it came from, but I think I'm gonna have to pull it out. These are my cosmos. This is a note to self that I need to do some trellising on my tomatillo plant. because it's like a little getting out of control. Look at my beautiful geranium. These leaves are so pretty. I'm so glad I kept this. This was a really good experiment. And my Homer Charlie Brown bush is looking pretty good also. Okay, my New Zealand spinach bounced back and it's looking good. I did pick off some bad leaves. And all the beans are looking good too. I've been checking the leaves for pests. Y'all been on high pest alert. With my stevia, my stevia plant looked like it succumbed. Looked like it got beat down by the rain. I need to chop this down. Look at all these shoots on the stevia plant. Y'all, and I look at this plant every day and it doesn't really seem like it's recovering. I need to cut off some more leaves and I don't really see any new growth. So I'm probably gonna end up just pulling this out and starting over again. However, this plant also has some disease on it too. I'm gonna try to do some spraying on it because this has a lot of tomatoes on it. So, and see what we can recover. You know, I'm surprised more people don't have problems with disease on their tomato plants, because I found this is like my 3rd year of doing tomatoes and I always have a lot of problems with disease when it comes to my tomato plants. They barely get a chance to grow, and I don't know, I'm not spraying anything on them per se. I try to keep them trimmed, so I don't know if it's just my ecosystem here or what. So you all let me know, do you have problems when it comes to growing tomatoes? Because I want tomatoes and I have more tomatoes growing, but I feel like I'm just gonna have to like get as many tomatoes as I can off the small plants and just replace them. So I don't know, we'll see. Another observation that I made is, y'all, let's see, something chewed this muncher up and I had another one in here and it's gone. So I don't know, something has been in this bed already. And also this bean plant has fallen over, but it's still alive and I think it's gonna make some beans, so I'm gonna leave it alone. My calendulas are growing, but I have some that I put in at the same time and I got nothing. I had some radish babies that the storm hit, so hopefully they'll bounce back up. I'm just gonna leave them alone. Y'all, I had my carrots covered up. They got hit hard because the water pooled on top of the plastic and pressed it down, so look. So hopefully we get enough sun where those will perk back up and we will be okay. But I think they'll be fine. Y'all, look inside my cart. It's full of water. I'm gonna have to get all that water out of there. I don't want to waste it. I have to figure out how to dip that water out and use it in the garden. I don't think I have any empty buckets that I can put that water in. And my rain barrel is probably full. So I don't know how I'm gonna save that water, and the plants don't need any watering right now. But that water is gonna have to get out of the cart. My strawberries are still looking good. I inspected them already and they look good. I still don't have any growth on the new plants that I put in, but you know what? I'm over that right now. And I took a lot of bad leaves off these radish babies yesterday. So they are looking kind of spectacular right now. Got one bulb coming up in here. Still waiting for the other ones. Well, that's about all I observed this morning, which is fantastic. Y'all hear the birds? They're just going. Sounds so beautiful and peaceful out here in the morning. But I gotta get dressed because I have an appointment to go to and I can't do any work. It makes me sad. So I'm gonna close up the garden diaries for this week, and thank you all for coming on. I love to hear y'all suggestions on some of these kind of issues that I'm having, but you know, it's nothing out of the ordinary, I'm sure. And I will see you all on the next video. See you later, Garden Tools. Bye.